You're right, David. Watching that again, Jimmy's dreams did come true. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WGLNA Season 2 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. If you guys are watching this on battleviewer.com, go over there right now and check it out. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you and answer the question of the day.
Which Tier 10 tank was your first?
That's right, guys. We want to know that nostalgic Tier 10 that you guys were working for, that endgame fantasy of World of Tanks. For me, on my personal account, I don't have one yet.
I-7.
I-7 for David. That's right. Again, guys, let us
Second
know.
one was the T-30.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
That lets you know how long I've been playing this game.
People who know the game are like, oh, dang, David. Oh, dang.
I guarantee there's at least a handful of viewers who are like, T-30 is not a Tier 10.
Oh, there you go.
Was.
Ladies and gentlemen, match number 3 is about to get underway. For the side of DNA, we have Master Putin. For the side of Googly, we've got Viral. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off. And Master, can I call you Master? Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right, Master, going to go ahead and start with you. Now, you guys, for this new kind of roster change, you guys added 2 new players and removed Mr. Gordon Freeman. Just can you tell us the reasons behind that?
Yeah, we removed Mr. Gordon Freeman. He's actually staying as our manager.
Oh, cool.
And we picked up Scoopra, a player from EU server, I believe, who's got some experience. He'll actually be calling some of our battles.
Oh, all right.
And we picked up Ali, who he's been playing on the North American server for quite a while. And I've played with him just kind of in team battles before. He seems to be have some experience playing this format.
All right. Well, we're excited to see how those changes kind of benefit you guys, definitely moving as the season progresses.
All right, Putin, what was your first Tier 10 tank?
I-7.
Yeah.
Oh, there
yeah,
you
it
go.
was.
There you go. You guys have so many just awesome bonding moments between you two. You call him Putin, I call him Master. That is a relationship we have. Now,
I'm never calling you Master. I'm just putting that out.
There you go.
I mean, I may call you Master Putin, but I'm never just going to call you Master by itself.
All right.
As much as you would probably love to hear that.
Viral. Gonna go over to you now, sir. Now, for you guys, you guys have removed RLDM and added Dr. Halo. So, or Baby Halo.
Baby Halo.
Baby Halo.
Yeah.
He is now a doctor, so congratulations to him.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Some of the reasons behind that, or where do you think we're going to be seeing him played the most?
RLDM, he ended up getting a full-time evening job, so he's actually going off making a lot more money than what he would be making here.
Gotcha.
So we brought Dr. Halo on. He's going to be helping us doing some calling. He's going to be one of our starting players going forward, and it's been a good addition so far, and we hope it continues.
Awesome. Excited to see him back in playing for you guys. We'll see how that, again, also as far as Ding, it helps you guys as the season progresses.
That should be interesting.
Yeah.
So, what was your first Tier 10 tank?
My first Tier 10 was the M48 Freedom.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not expect to hear anybody say that.
Well, there we go. Thank you so much, Viral, for an unexpected response. Gentlemen, before we get into this battle, Master Putin, anything you'd like to say to Viral before we start?
Good luck. Have fun.
Viral, your response.
Good luck. Have fun to you, too.
Gentlemen, best of luck to the both of you. Hope the roster changes work out. See you guys soon. Now, an interesting thing I kind of want to point out there, both of these teams are adding people to the rosters that are going to be calling for them, which to me sounds counterintuitive, because I would think a caller is somebody who knows the team well and is able to coordinate with them, knows how each player works the best. Obviously, it's not like that.
Depends on the team. Some team has what is essentially a captain and a caller, the same person.
Okay.
Some team has a captain and a caller separately. And there's sometimes teams that have multiple people who fill all the roles together.
Gotcha.
So in this case, they already had captains. They brought on callers.
Well, let's take a look at the rosters now for both of these teams. There have been a little bit of changes. You guys just heard who was added, who was taken away. David, some of the outstanding players.
Well, so far for Ding and A, that would be Big Daddy Mustard Papa Dijon leading off the fantasy points, followed by Putin, I believe. For Googlybobbers, usually I would say 7 Tesla. As the one time she played, she put up a lot. But I've heard that her play depends on the map, so not particularly a fantasy pick, because who knows?
You don't know,
right?
Yeah, which map can play on.
So probably Baby Halo, Dr. Halo, now no longer a baby, graduated.
He's a doctor? Yeah, he went from baby to doctor.
I'm never going to that dentist, I'll tell you.
That is
not
a
happening.
huge leap. So congratulations to him.
Then other than that, let's see. Zombie Food. Zombie Food is the guy that
That's
I
the
went
guy you
with
picked.
off this team. and he's been a league player in the past, and he should be somewhat reliable, and I believe he's part of the starting 5.
All right, well, let's see, ladies and gentlemen, as we're getting into our first battle of match number 3, who is going to start coming on top? Will it be Ding? Will it be Googly? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For DingNA, a bat chat, 2 140s, an STB, a W100, an STI, and a T54. For Googlybobbers, 2 260s, 2 E5s, a 140, and 2 T55As.
All right, here, starting out onto mines. Googlybobbers going to be on the offense. DingNA on defense. Do not see 7. No, we do see 7 Tesla. So it looks like mines is a map that she is coming from playing on. We'll see if she continues that trend of just really racking up the points here. Valkyrie and Sovereign now leading the charge. It looks like we might be having a very aggressive hill push for Googly, and not that coming out from Ding. We're seeing kind of the same thing they played up against High Voltage, where they didn't even go head-to-head with them. They decided to really kind of do a nice little spread defense, allowed Googly to push onto them. This is something we saw back in Season 1, and it'd be very, very successful because when you know, they would take the hill, like, all right, we got the hill, but now we have to go on to cap, because again, just because you have the hill, if Ding didn't take a lot of damage, or they were prepared for that, now it's up to Googly to find the next step of that phase if they didn't get that initial alpha damage from a hill fight. And how tough is that if you're Googly? If you're pushing them on a hill, you're expecting to fight, no one's there, you're like, all right guys, what does the transition look like to come off a hill to a cap?
Not hard.
Okay.
Honestly. I mean,
Really? Okay.
You get on top of the hill, then you get some more intelligence, and then you figure out which side you want to push on. Right now, Ding, like you said, as any team with somebody whose nickname is Mustard would do, you would run a spread defense.
Oh, man.
As they are.
As
So
they are.
the W100 in the southeast, to make sure that anybody pushes on the STI gets shreked by the WE. It'll probably happen at some point. Other than that, you've got Putin pushed up far on the west side to make sure nobody's coming from over there. So actually right now, Googlybobbers is somewhat stuffed, and this is one of the better spread defenses I've seen so far, until I start seeing some reactions to what Googly chooses to do, and then we'll be able to make a better read on whether
now,
this is particularly viable or not. I honestly didn't think, at least at Tier 8, that a static defense was a viable thing consistently.
Okay.
But at Tier 10 it might be. The tanks have changed, with the right combination of tanks in the right spots. It's possible. But DingNA is certainly trying to find it.
Googlybobbers now deciding to give up that hill, pushing back. Now might be going for just kind of a round now. Going for that Eastern cap or for an 8-9 rush, as we just saw 07 do successfully, I might add, against aquatic M60s here. Viral being joined by Sovereign, T5A, that up to 260. The rest of Ding just not really moving. They don't really need to. Got a bat chat in that F1 area. Got T54 sitting down there watching the hill in G4. Got an STB1 and H1. They are very spread indeed. ATPD getting shot at. He's not spotted, so it looks like a little bit of blind fire there coming out from Googly.
Here we go. So before this even takes place, I'm just going to point out one little thing.
All right.
And that is the last time this worked for DingNA, they were facing Noble. Noble let the W100 fire and then did not push on it. As has traditionally been the solution in this instance, as soon as you know that it is there, you send everybody after it. So if he does dump his 5 shots into somebody, ideally you try and spread out who he's hitting so you can kind of nullify the effect of his damage. Then you go make sure he dies for it. Noble's biggest mistake when they did it was just stopping and letting him get every shot that he wanted with very minimal cost.
Gotcha. So we'll see if Googly can not make a mistake Noble did. Is that what you're saying?
That would be the idea, but Putin is not going to give him the time, as DingNA is hard countering right now, going right up the middle.
Take a lot of damage there. Flashland taking up 719 points into that T54. A lot of damage going through, trying to get onto Zombie Food and 7 Tesla, who is taking some damage as well. DingNA, knowing that Googly is around the corner, is just going to push up, taking the damage now, and the rest of Googly decide to not go for that 8-9 push to the cap, to their spawn, but instead to come support the 2 tanks up on top of the hill. 7 Tesla is still alive. Valkyrie now going to make him a Papa Dijon, taking down 7 Tesla. The 140 for the 140. Flashland might be punished for it. Zombie Food now is on the reload. Valkyrie going to make it up. Papa Dijon going to do his best to try to defend him. Does take the 2 shots, but Zombie Food finds Flashland. Meanwhile, Balaksa in the E100, taking down a member of Googly as he makes his way up the hill. Papa Dijon now in Darth against Zombie Food Valkyrie. The HP between these 4 tanks are in favor of DNA here, but Papa Dijon taking 2 shots is going to start nullifying that increase. Darth Vader going around the corner, takes a shot to Zombie Food and actually misses. That could be detrimental here as Zombie is now going to try and make it out here. Scoopra is going to come around the corner in that 422 and pick it up. Zombie Food now falling. 6 members of DNA still alive against just the now 3, now 2 of Googlybobbers as Sovereign and Valkyrie go down. 2 kills there going for DNA. Luck now picking up a shot, taking down 1 member of Dink, but it looks like it is all over. Master Bruin is on the reload. He's just going to try to buy some time here to come join the rest of the team, but he might not even be needed as Googlybobber are in a lot of trouble. Blocks at ATPD. Full health running up here onto Luck. Viral does pick up a kill there, takes the shot from Papa Dijon, 309 there in object 260. Balaxa taking down Luck, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it is just Viral alive against Papa Dijon. Once Papa's shot comes up, which it does, he picks it up, and that is going to be the first victory going over to Ding NA on our 3rd match of the night on the Mines. Now, you know, looking at exactly what Ding was doing, we talked about, all right, if Googly is going to push, they can't do what Noble did. And Ding's like, we're not going to let them get in that situation where they're probably comfortable and know what we're doing. We're going to push the members on the hill. Was that a call based on information that they had over all the members on the east side for Googly? Or is that just like a, hey, this is timing, at this minute, we're going to push?
Deduction information.
Okay.
Somewhat related to timing. So Putin, taking largely control of that himself personally, pushed up the west side, found nobody there in a certain amount of time, pushed up further, got the rear flank, nobody was there. They thus deduced that all of the other tanks were in the northeast. And either they were actively pushing or too far out, so we shoved everybody up the middle, which is what they did last time, except last time they did it a little bit slower, so they potentially jumped the gun this time. Had their opponent, Googlybobbers, come down the 8-9 like I'd been talking about and gone into the east and gone even further down after W100. That actually could have been a nice counter. If they had the rotation coming at that point in time, it would have been a trade of the east-southeastern tanks for the tanks on hill, and that's actually in favor of the defense. So perhaps some elements of what could be a reliable strategy there, as that's now have some movement to make up for what would happen if a team takes out the W100. So we're starting to get to the evolution of the meta of their defense here, but there are some flaws in it, little ones, and they're mostly based on timing and things like that that might not be consistent or they could be easily messed with.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you tracked all of that. It's kind of a complicated thing.
Yeah.
But let's... what?
Go to stats?
I don't think we have time.
Oh.
But Papa Dijon, 4,000 damage in his 140 with three kills. And Putin with 3,000 damage, 1 kill. Darth Vader with 2,600. Velox in the W100 with 1,561, but 2 kills. Nice cleanup there. For the other side, Googlybobbers, Zombie Food with 2,248, Luck with 2,000, Viral with 2,000, Valkyrie with 1,500. Anybody that wasn't listed was below 1,500.
All right, we kind of talked about that was the standard in this new season of like that. All right, you get about 1,500. Our guesstimate so far, then you've done your job in the battle. Ladies and gentlemen, DNA now up 1-0 against Googlybobbers. We switch sides on Mines. Let's right into it and take a look at what we've got.
For Ding NA, a 215B, 2 Bat Chats, 2 140s, a T54. For Googlybobbers, a 260, 2 140s, 2 62As, and 2 T55As. Both teams opting for the double tier 9. It's definitely worth looking into some of the differences between the T55A and the T54.
All right, we'll see what kind of benefits going out through here. Before we get this one started going away, 7 Tesla. We kind of talked about the idea of she is generally a points leader on her team when she plays, but she only plays on certain maps.
Well, she played 1 set and was the point leader in that one, so we could potentially be jumping the gun by saying she's a consistent point leader.
Gotcha, that's true. Well, then after this night, we might be able to consistently say that. A lot of damage there going on to Master Putin as he makes it, but he does get on top of the hill, making that gap. ATBG just dodging shots back and forth there, and the battle for the top of the hill has begun. Flashlight taking 686 points of damage there. That T54, Darth there taking some as well, but Luck, 1,300 points in that T62A, 1,800, and Scoopra is going to pick that one up in that 140, and that is the tank there falling for Googlybobbers already. A T62 is down. And now the rest of the fight will continue. Will Ding be able to continue this victory, or will Googly be able to stop them? We're going to find out. Viral getting dropped below half health. Tesla now being very aggressive, pushing up forward. They're going to try to find Putin. Putin is on the reload, though. He really is not going to be helping his team out too much. Tesla, 555 points of damage. Well on the back. VLM looks like he got caught on fire there. 1,400, and Papa Dijon is going to take him out. Viral does find Scooper there in that 140. He is going down. A 2-for-1 now exchange in favor of Ding NA. The HP so in favor of Ding right now. Over 3,000 points, and that Master Putin gonna increase it by taking 7 Tesla down. Master Putin is reloaded. He's going to find Viral as well. A double kill going out for that Bat Chat. And now just 3 members remain, all grouped up, all very low, all about to die. Sovereign Zul, 307 damage going into him. One more shot. He's going to pick up, but Velox again. Take down Zombie Food first. Darth Vader, Flash, and Papa Dijon all rushing in here. Try to find and finish this one out as quickly as possible. Darth Vader down. Valkyrie going down to Papa Dijon, or Sovereign Zul going down to Papa Dijon, and that is Ding NA with a quick-tory. That's right, David. A quick-tory. A quick victory. I just made it up. If you don't want me to use it again, let us know in chat. All right.
I don't want you to use it again now.
No, I'll respect you for that one.
It's just too easy.
Yeah.
Too easy.
Now look at what happened there. A hill fight. Ding NA, obviously on offense, going for that very quickly. Master Putin getting up on top of the hill without being punished. He took a shot. We kind of talked about the crucial value of tracking someone when they go to make that. Because instead of doing damage, you track them, the rest of your team can light them up. How hard is that to do, to that initial push from a member coming out on top
Very
of the hill?
difficult, especially at tier 10.
Is it?
As it's not always particularly reliable that your shot will track someone.
Oh, really?
It's a good amount of hit points, track HP at tier 10. Depending on the tank that you're firing at, you can pretty much hit one head on and not pop it sometimes.
Really?
At least in my experience.
So yeah, somebody not as a viable option.
Let's go to stats.
Let's do it.
Stats.
Let's go stats.
So you can see there is not that much of a difference between the two. There's no significant outlier. One just had more damage than the other, and what that essentially indicates is that it was positional play. You can see by the number of tanks that are left alive. Ding just had better positions.
Yeah.
The people that got low were able to be rotated out and away from fire, whereas GoBobs did not have the kind of the positions they needed to be able to do that. And once that Bat Chat got on top of the hill, it was pretty much time for GoBobs to leave, but a little bit too late in their movements there, and they got caught out and ruined.
So they had a chance.
In the
So they had a chance at the beginning. Like once you notice Master Putin's up, a lot of them are pushing. Our guys back off, or is that it's a huge risk?
Depends on
still?
where you put them. But yeah, that's
Gotcha.
kind of the idea.
Gotcha. It'll be interesting to see if that happens again. If that is a response, if they'll think of something else. Now, the Bat Chat that Master Putin was driving, is that one of the quickest tanks in this new meta?
Yes.
Okay. So if you are playing mines, if you see the enemy bringing a couple Bat Chats, is that and you're they're on offense, and is mine slightly in favor of getting the hill on offense, or is it pretty dead even?
Slightly in favor of the offense. You are correct.
Okay. So if you see a couple Bat Chats, do you go, all right, let's just not even push the hill at all? They're probably going to take that as Master Putin got there extremely quickly. Or is there still enough time as slower tier 10 tanks to get to the bottom of the hill and contest anyone crossing?
Previously, it would depend on the spawn order and locations of those tanks, and your tanks in particular. And then it's a call of, do we surrender the hill and take something else, or do we go to the hill and do a lot of damage and then have a counter push? One of the more common ones is when somebody goes on top of the hill, you take everything and just go over the hill. Right. And the guy on top doesn't really have the angles down. You leave somebody there to kind of make sure he doesn't really back off.
Right.
But in this scenario that you're painting, I would say from the defensive side, it's more likely you're either going to do damage to them and leave, or just avoid it altogether.
All right, well, we'll see if that becomes the meta, or if Ding can switch it up as they are back on defense, up 2-0 against Googlybobbers. Let's get right back into it and take a look at now what we've got for our tanks.
Ding with a Bat Chat, 2 140s, an STB, a W100, an STI, and a T54. Googlybobbers with 2 260s, 2 E5s, a 140, and 2 T55As. I will say, though, rather astute of you to notice that Bat Chats could be considered a tell in this situation, or a heads up, that an indicator that somebody's going to go to hill. Could be.
Could be. Or you can just bring it for more mind games.
Yeah, or just because it's a good tank.
Yes, it also is a fantastic tank indeed. We're seeing a lot of Bat Chats being played.
But you can work it the other way, right? So Googlybobbers doesn't have a Bat Chat, which means that they won't be able to get to hill super quickly. So if you ran the timing on it and you had a Bat Chat and you could get there faster than them, perhaps you would meet middle, get your Bat Chats on top of the hill. But probably unlikely all the timing on all of that works out at tier 10.
Ding and A going, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Going for that good old hop and mustard spread defense. Master Putin now in that bat check going over to the F1, E1 area on top of the hill. And this is going to be kind of a repeat of what we saw them do when they were on defense the first time. Now it'll be interesting to see how Googlybobbers, once they figure that out, how they respond. Last time, they decided to try to rush the hill. Did not work out well for them. We'll see if they change that or if they just kind of tighten it up and it'll work out. David, if you were in Googlybobbers' position, you're the caller right now. You're down there, and you know, all right, they're running the same thing. We see them run the same thing. Last time it didn't work because of X. You know, are you gonna say let's do that again? What would you do in their situation right now if you have that information?
Well, it's kind of a difficult thing to answer because I wouldn't necessarily be in this current position with these tanks. So,
gotcha. Sure.
From their position entirely, not what I would do, but perhaps what they could do. One of two things. Either you go down the 8-9 completely and you see what happens,
right.
Or you hope that Ding and A is going to do the same thing again. You set a trap for it. So you pull some tanks away, get them out of spotting, hope Putin comes around, get the pick on Putin, then you can expand from there.
Wow, already a lot of damage
It's
there.
tricky, though, to get a good read on what Ding and A did last time because there was so much motion involved in it. It's something that's usually not easy to tell while you're in a game.
Gotcha, yeah.
Very
gotta
obvious
go,
from our perspective.
right, got to go back,
Not
watch
from
replays.
theirs.
Sure. 5 minutes and 40 seconds. DNA have been taking a little bit of damage there. A little bit onto Flashland and Master Putin as well as Scooper there. Scooper, we're calling him? Scooper?
That's what they said his name was.
Scooper, it is Dr. Halo now taking the shots. There he is in that E5. We're seeing him played for the first time this season. Baby Halo, now Doctor. Shots there onto Darth Vader behind the house in that object 140. Papa Dijon now heading back in his 140 as some shots onto Dr. Halo on top of the hill come through. It looks like that was ATPD and his ST1 who's responsible for that one. 5 minutes and 13 seconds on the clock. And it looks like we have a little bit of a stalemate here from both of these teams. So I guess technically the stalemate is in favor of DNA. For Googlybobbers, David, we're sending a couple objects to 260s around to the east. Those, would you send an 8-9 push? Would you just send 2 tanks there? How many tanks at minimum would you send for an 8-9?
That would depend on the intel gained from other stuff. I would say 2 at minimum in the previous format, 3 for comfort, 4 for security, depending on... but you have to do certain expositional moves, certain things to gain the intelligence to know that you can deposit 4 there. As it is now, 2 260s are not exactly stealthy, nor are they agile, so I don't think they are the tip of the spear of this push here, but they are some cheeky cap pressure. It may be difficult to penetrate, considering they are in essentially what is echelon formation to a certain extent, so we can take a look at that from the other angle. What you see here is mostly very odd armor angles. There are places that a shot can sneak in there and penetrate, but when tanks, especially Russian tanks, are lined up like that with their pikes, it can be
Pain.
It can be a pain. I say the only thing better is, you know, a big German tank like E100s. You line them up, and it's just one flat diagonal wall of armor that you can't penetrate.
Whoa, ouch.
It's pretty intimidating when you see it. But they're slow, so you kind of drive someplace else.
All right, here now, ATPD doing a great job getting those resets.
Ooh,
A little bit of traction.
Darth.
Darth Vader taking a ton of damage there in that object 140. Not even sure where that came from. Possibly up on top of the hill. Master Putin now pushing up, and slowly but surely, Googlybobbers are willing Ding and A down for really not getting much response in at all. 43 seconds on the clock. Master Putin now pushing up on top of the hill. He's going to try to find either zombie food if he can, but he's flashing, coming around the side, going for a flank maybe in the back of that bat chat. Valkyrie taking 2 damage there from Flash, then pops up, takes a shot, coming back around. Just sending Master to go get the resets. Over on the side.
He's exploring the other side to see if they can shove the middle. He is at risk. I think he knows that any further he goes is more and more uncomfortable, but he's going to have to do it now as GoBobs are putting yet another person on cap, or at least to bring Sovereign Zul around for the option to do one of those cheeky cap rushes.
Yeah.
You see once you get to a certain point in time. But Putin is unspotted. He is crossing the top. And again, it's going to come down on Putin to see if he can pull out against Sovereign Zul. He has all the shots he needs to kill Sovereign, but I don't think he has enough to reset and kill, so this could very likely be a sacrificial play on his part. But Flashland goes down, so it's looking more and more dire for Ding and A with only 10 seconds on cap, and Putin is in the mix.
Ooh, Sovereign Zul is going to be the focus here, taking a lot of damage there. 9-4 goes into Putin, and Sovereign finishes him off, David. That was a sacrificial play that you were talking about.
But he didn't get the resets.
He did not. Valkyrie still with a lot. No, it was Luck, who I believe has the most cap points there. ATPD. Man, that is not fun to say fast. Nice little shot there onto Valkyrie again, getting some more resets there. Another one goes through 79 seconds. I mean, he's getting those resets beautifully, as well now as Papa Dijon. So if DNA can continue to do this for the next minute and a half, or sorry, almost 2 minutes, they might be able to pull this one out. But it looks like Googlybobbers is not going to do that, sending Zombie Food down in that E5 drop there, putting that capture on Valkyrie. He's taking more and more damage there. He's obviously not yet. See, he knows he's now on the run. Zombie Food, though, taking down Scoopra. That's another tank falling for DNA. Just 3 remain against still all 7 of Googly. I mean, they could just decide to push right now, and they would pick it up. 9,100 points of damage. Now, 8,500
coming off the cliff.
Wow, just going ham. Looks like he's very confident that they're going to pick up his victory. Victory as Viral takes down Papa Dijon. 1 second on the clock. Now down to 0, and Googlybobbers have successfully capped against DNA on Mines, picking up their first victory. Match number 3. And you know what they did? You know what they capped it on? They capped it on the East. They just got an Eastern cap onto Mines, which is something we've never seen, I don't think successfully at least. We've seen it used for pressure. We've seen last season it used to, people were just running by and they accidentally got on cap and then they just kept pushing through in the 8-9. But to actually see that cap work out in a way was something we haven't really seen this season at least. So it'll be interesting to see if the new tier 10 tanks allow for that. If that echelon formation you were talking about is something that leads to that being a more, more viable cap. I don't know, it happened once, might not happen ever again. But a good job for Googly picking that one up.
I think it was a lot. It was just sort of a pressure situation where they were able to force DNA to wiggle around under their pressure and soak a lot of damage while they did.
Gotcha.
Let's go to statistics.
Stats.
For Googlybobbers, the lead is 2,300 with Dr. Halo, who only died there when the cap was already at 0. So I'm going to go ahead and consider this a 7-2 cap
He also
victory.
flew off the cliff.
Luck right behind him. Valkyrie, 7 Tesla all the way down the list. And Zombie Food getting 2 kills. For DNA, really only W100 got into the fight. Everybody else just sort of squirming around and paying the price for it.
All right, here, and this has actually been kind of the theme so far of tonight. Is just not so much. We have seen a couple of head-to-head battles. We have just a couple crazy brawls where the best focus fire wins. But we've seen a lot of just this stalling this game out and punishing your opponent for doing anything slowly. Not a lot, just a little bit at a time. And when that happens, you get yourself in that situation. Is there an easy answer of like, oh guys, let's now fight because we're gonna keep getting whittled down the whole time? Or is it like, well, we're in these positions, we gotta just try to find certain picks where we can. How tough is that to be? If you're like, we lost another shot. Oh, lost another shot. Oh, lost
it's
another
tough.
shot.
And the only thing you can do is make sure you never get there to begin with.
Okay.
Because then you get 2 bad options: stay and get whittled down and hope they make a mistake you can exploit, or try and find a hard place to counter push. But if they've already pinned you in that place and they're playing what is commonly referred to as push up, where they push directly up against your line, but they have cover, and then they wait and put some pressure on you so that you have to come to them. The offense has now effectively made themselves the defense, and your defensive positions are all spread out. You can't just merge those tanks into a unit and go anywhere because you're all spread out. So unfortunately,
just don't get
for
there at the
Ding and Egg, Googlybobbers figured out how to crack that one.
All right, well, a fantastic job for them picking up their first victory here of the night. Now going back into Mines for the final time. Can Googlybobbers tie it up, or will DNA be able to pull this one out 3-1? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For Ding and A, 215B, 2 Bat Shats, 2 140s, 2 T54s. For Googlybobbers, 215, a Bat Shat, 2 140s, 62A, and 2 T54s. Pretty consistent, team to team. Everybody goes for the double 9s instead of the tier 8 on Mines.
Right. Is there a specific reason why you think that is, or is it just...
It's better for brawling.
Gotcha.
Pretty much.
Mines is definitely a brawling map. Indeed here. Now we'll see if DNA does the same thing as the last time in Rush to Hill. Looks like that is exactly what they're doing. They brought the Bat Chat again. It's Master and Papa Dijon driving those. Papa Dijon now in the forefront, running through very quickly. Valkyrie and Luck, though, are set up. He is spotted, takes only 1 shot again. 2 shots missing for Googlybobbers. Tesla didn't fire hers. She's now backing off. Sovereign Zool taking some damage there. And it looks like DNA is going to have control of this hill again. Luck there, bouncing a shot in that 140. Now Googlybobbers are going like, we're not even gonna fight this hill anymore. They're doing what they're learning from their mistakes essentially. Last time they pushed up on the hill when this happened. This time they're backing off, going for more of a spread. But the hill did go over to Ding, and not a lot of punishment was
Ding just taking the hill. Pretty cost-free.
Yeah.
A little bit of damage on Scupra. Shot into Papa Dijon. A lot less than they should have gone into Papa Dijon. And Luck getting lit up. 680 just for that one poke.
Pokes up, tries to find a shot, takes shots in return. Looks like it's just not what you want. 140. You don't just want it all in any sort of tank here on this game. You don't want to take damage. You want to do the damage. Blocks and taking a shot onto Luck. Just barely missing him there. We have an Object 140 flash one being sent all the way around for Ding. And now they have the hill control. David, what is his? What do you think we're going to be seeing as the game kind of progresses?
Which person?
Flashland, the Object 140 up in the B2 area right now.
Ah, you said hill control. I was thinking something else. That could debatably be called a hill.
Oh,
It's just not something I would ever
right. Sorry.
think of as the hill. Anyways, he's just locking down the 1-2 to make sure nobody's pushing up that and getting a flank onto a lot of their guys in the middle. But he can rotate out now.
Yeah.
And Ding and A can, now that they've deposited somebody in the middle, somebody on the hill, they can start rotating east for the 8-9 push. It's a pretty classic way of doing it. Googlybobbers potentially senses it coming and is grouping up to get ready to counter push up the middle.
All right, we'll see if their instincts are correct. They will be able to kind of rush head in to them. They are a lot unhealthier. Googlybobbers, that is, Luck is below half health. Sovereign at 1,000. A little bit of cap pressure going through on Ding, but it is not cap pressure that's going to stay for long. This is the push, ladies and gentlemen, David was just talking about, and it's going to be Dr. Halo will be the person of focus here as Master Putin comes around the side. The first shot, 422 there in that 5B. Second shot bouncing. Meanwhile, Googly just going to push on up on the hill, trying to take down Darth and Papa. Meanwhile, Dr. Halo is getting extremely low here. A lot of damage there going up. Papa Dijon actually taking down Luck. Darth Vader, though, getting surrounded now. One more shot. 7 Tesla is going to pick up. That's a 1-for-1 exchange there. But Papa Dijon taking down Valkyrie, now increasing that lead in favor of Dingane here on the offense. And Scooper taking down Dr. Halo. And that push definitely favored Dingane over Googlybobbers. We've now switched sides. Googly now has the hill control. Dingane are now on the defense, essentially, or where the defense spawn, I should say. Looks like they don't want to let this game stall out at all. They're just going to start pressing their victory. They know they have the overmatch. They have more tanks, more damage, more HP.
But they've got the worst positions, so it's not necessarily the best play to be making here. They need to probably put on some sort of cap pressure and draw Googly to them. They're kind of playing into Googly's hands right now until Putin arrives. Once he does, it starts flipping back in the other direction.
All right, here, let's see if we can make it in time. Velox is trying to back up their game. Block on Papa Dijon. 7 Tesla takes some damage. Scooper going down by Viral. Batchat taking down the Object 140, and Viral taking down the T-54. Veloxa falling as well. That is 2 takedowns for not a single one, but there it is. Master Putin arriving, taking down Viral in that Batchat, going like, hey, David said once I'm here, it's going to be good. And now I'm here, and now it's good. 7 Tesla going down to Flashland, which leaves just Zombie Food and Sovereign alive for Googly against the 4 members of Ding. It looks like, well, Papa John is on the reload. Zombie Food should be able to take him down here. One shot going into him. He's chasing that Batchat down. Flashland going to make sure he can finish off Sovereign. Will Master Food be able to save Papa John in time? No! But he does pick down Zombie to claim that victory and increase that lead 3-1. Now, we're talking about just Ding doing a very classic hill control. They got the hill. They took it, took an A9 push. Is that the correct response for Googlybobbers? Knowing that, okay, they're going to be pushing on Dr. Halo, let's push the hill.
I suppose.
Okay.
Again, it gets into the you don't want to be in that position to begin with. A lot of other things.
This is an option you have.
It's not a bad one. It worked to a certain extent. Once they took the hill, it probably would have been better to rotate more middle instead of the hill itself.
Oh, okay.
But we can talk about that a little bit after we go to statistics.
Oh, let's do that then.
For Ding-NA, 3,500 out of Papa the John. Scupra with 2,900 and Putin with 2,100 roughly. For GoBobs, that would be Zombie Food in the lead with 3,000. Viral behind him with 2,100. Sovereign Zool roughly 1,900. Tesla, Dr. Halo, Luck, and Valkyrie, all the way down the list there. So, in particular, positional play on the hill like that is valuable, but only if you hold the middle itself as well. Because tanks that go up the hill will get punished.
Right.
But if there's only one guy that can stop them from going up the hill, and there's not 2, 3, 4, then they can go up the hill and he's not that big of an issue. In this case, the person stopping them was a Batchat, but Putin was also a Batchat with more health.
Sure.
So their solution was simple: send everybody up the hill, wait for that Batchat to send 1 or 2 shots, because he now no longer really has the amount of shots he needs to kill Putin.
Right.
And then Putin counters him by putting his face directly in the other guy's face. And now the only thing that the enemy Batchat can shoot is Putin, but he doesn't have enough shots to kill him. Putin actually came in with a little bit of speed, shot him and rammed him, and cleaned it up much faster.
Oh, that's what happened.
Much faster than that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was pretty good.
Pretty enjoyable.
So pretty easy solution there for WGLNA. Good attempt by GoBobs. Like you were saying, if you get into that situation to begin with, a hard counter up the middle, not a bad option.
Right.
It's what you do from there that matters the most. A lot of teams to go up and then pour off the sides and reset up someplace else. There's a lot of different ways of doing it. The way they did it right there was vulnerable to certain counter moves.
Which
and
WGLNA did.
unfortunately for them, WGLNA managed to pull those off.
All right, congratulations to them picking up another victory. Now 3-1 against Googlybobbers. Now getting ready to go to our next map. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks. Ivanka.
For WGLNA, 215B, an E5, a Batchat, a 140, an STB, a T54, and a T54E1. For Googlybobbers, 2 E5s, 57 heavy, 2 140s, an STB, and an AMX 1390. So we have a tier 8 lineup versus double 9 lineup right now.
See kind of what comes out on top. Now, David, the difference between the T54 E1 and the T54.
The E1 is taller. Well, you know what? Let's look at what we're talking about.
Wow, that is tall.
Taller. Yes, definitely taller. And it has a 4-shot autoload clip. Some people don't necessarily like this tank because it can be somewhat tricky to play stock, or if you are firing the regular credit rounds, the AP rounds. However, if you grind through this tank and you use free XP or whatever to unlock the next gun, and you fire APCR, oh man, it's great.
Is it nasty?
Yeah, I love it.
All right, we'll see if that's what he's firing indeed. Dr. Halo running all the way through that E5. A lot of damage there, a lot of shots coming from Googlybobbers to destroy some of these houses that you guys see. Obviously, they're setting up for cheeky positions that Ding could get in. Now, is that something that you, as a team, is that something you just do every time? Like, guys, hey, we're going to positions, take out these houses? Or is that,
if it's part of the strategy, sure. Otherwise, you would see where people are going and then start destroying buildings they would need to get out from wherever they are.
Gotcha.
But there's a lot of buildings to destroy on Morobaka, so I'm going to assume that's part of strategy. Otherwise, way too much time.
Flashling putting up those cap pressure points over here on the west, but it's not going well for him as the rest of Googly just push off the side. But now Dr. Halo's in some trouble. Over 1,000 points of damage. He's having to back off here. Sovereign Jewel taking some shots as well. What looked like was going to be a quick kill on Flashling has turned out to be what might be an imminent kill onto Dr. Halo. Scoopra taking those shots there in the STB1. Nice final shot there onto Halo. The E5 now falling for Googlybobbers, and WGLNA, knowing that they have this quick victory, might be pushing up forward, but Luck takes a nice shot there on the Scoopra. The STB1 taking out his brother over there in the back. Meanwhile, cap pressure for Ding getting reset by Luck in the back, which has a very, very quick reload timer. 25 seconds down the clock. Some shots, they're going to Luck. He is spotted, though. He has to be careful. If he pops out, he is going to get lit up. A Flashland Vader taking down Sovereign Jewel there. Romstar, though, taking 393 points. Then E1. Meanwhile, the shots are going to Master Putin. Takes down Simon Putin. Viral response but taken down. Master Putin. His final shot there goes into Flashland. It doesn't quite connect. Darth Vader barely holding on with just a shred of health. Luck finally finishes him off. And meanwhile, Flashland taking down Viral. Now 4 tanks remain for WGLNA versus the 3 for Googlybobbers. Valkyrie almost on the reload here in that 1390. And once he has it up, which is now, he might be able to take down Veloxa. Let's see who is going to be up on top. Will be the 1390, will be the T54. But Master Putin coming to the Batchat, trying to just keep Valkyrie away. The shot from Valkyrie going straight into the air. Master Putin almost on reload. Veloxa wins that battle there with possibly some help there from Master Putin. Not quite sure if he got some damage in it at all. Papa DeJohn taking on 7 Tesla. Luck takes down Veloxa, but with Papa DeJohn finishing off Luck, that is going to be WGLNA with another victory. Now their 4th one against Googlybobbers. One more, and they will be the victors of our 3rd matchup. David, correct me if I'm wrong or not. Papa DeJohn was on your fantasy team for tonight, correct?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he is killing it. Papa DeJohn is killing it for you.
Spicy tonight.
Woo, that's spicy mustard.
All right, so We could do both stats while I talk about this.
All right, let's do it. Let's do both. Let's multitask.
I mean, really.
I'll sing.
Flashland with 2530, 2270 for Darth Vader. Actually, some of the more consistent damage earners lower to the bottom this time for Ding and A, but that happens with particularly what happened in this battle, which we'll touch on in just a second.
Okay.
Luck with an even 2400 and 3 kills in his STB. He was the guy over there on the one line, just kind of getting those flank shots.
Yeah.
Pretty good, pretty good. Tesla behind him with 2370 and Object 140. She was much more in the mix. Viral behind that with 1853, Sovereign Zool, etc., etc. The only one getting wrecked here was Dr. Halo, which brings me to
Okay, yeah. And?
overcommitted, overpushed to try and get the reset.
Gotcha.
I don't think that Googlybobbers were expecting that many tanks to be there supporting that particular corner so directly. I haven't seen a whole lot of Murovanka play to comment on whether they should or shouldn't.
Okay.
To me, kind of looks like they should, but hindsight and all that. So really, Googlybobbers overcommitted to try and get the reset. They probably should have tried to sneak that in or spent more time trying to find it someplace else, or perhaps at least checked around that hill, as there's plenty of room to check to make sure there's not a whole lot backing it up. But Dr. Halo went over around the corner, trying to get the reset, missed a shot, got lit up, tank down, and that pretty much led to a snowball where Ding and A just pushed directly up into that corner. They actually could have probably pushed a little bit more aggressively and picked off some of the tanks there. But either way, it worked for them, and they had some nice interceptions. Googlybobbers tried to come around behind them with their medium force, and Ding and A had already peeled off 3 of their own mediums to go deal with it, so either they saw that coming, or it was like physically saw it coming, or they just kind of had
sensed it.
that gut feeling. But either way, great
out.
match there from Ding and A, and a pretty costly mistake from Googlybobbers.
And now just one more victory for Ding and A, and they're going to claim the 3rd match of the night. Can they do it right now? We've switched sides. They are on defense. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For Ding and A, 2E5s, a Bat Shadow 142 STBs, and an AMX 1390 for Googlybobbers, a 215B, an I7, a Bat Shadow 2140s, an STB, and an RU251.
All right, here now, Dr. Halo. Now in the Bat Chat himself. Look at that sweet Ding and A. Sorry, not sweet Ding and A. Sweet Googlybobber. The camera's actually might be wrong here. Valkyrie View is now rushing up. 251 going over to the foresty area. Seeing 3-4 members for Googly now rushing this way. Now he's getting into a little bit of a spotting position here, just checking the bushes, but it doesn't look like any members of Ding are going over here at all. Now, with Googly kind of doing this spread sort of a rush right at the beginning, David, is this, if you're on offense on this map, is there one of those caps, is it like steps, like, hey, this cap is one of the ones to go to? We go to east now because north has so many answers, or is it still so early in the meta with this new map that either cap is viable so far that we've seen?
Both caps are viable on Murovanka, mainly as pressure situations, with the one cap being the most vulnerable overall.
Okay.
To a certain extent.
Okay.
Again, that's a complicated thing. Mostly has to do with the firing angles on the 2 cap and how you spot it, making that kind of a viable cap. But once you spot it, it's wide in the open. Meanwhile, the 1 is easier to spot, but harder to fire at because of the terrain. That's the summary of the complex situation.
Okay.
As simple as I can say it, it's even more complex than that. Either way, both caps are viable. Both caps are usually necessary in order to get a cap on one of them. Teams often pressure the 2 in order to draw the defender over there to some extent. Defender usually already has somebody over there to kind of spot that, so they use that to find that guy and kill him, get a pick, and then start moving their strategy from there. But overall, Murovanka in the past has been a very strategic and tricky map to play, and I look forward to seeing it as the rest of the season progresses.
Ooh, Valkyrie in a little bit of a position here. It's 1390. Romstar good, take him out, and might be able to get out of there with his life. He has been spotted. He is taking fire there from Dr. Halo, Zombie Food, and 7 Tesla, and was, but a huge shot in the face.
Fire.
Set on fire. 708, 800 now climbing. Let's see if it goes out. Just stopping with him at 41 points of HP there in that 1390. I mean, he did pick up a kill. Valkyrie is down because of it. The fact that he made it out there and is lasting this long is a huge feat indeed.
All those fire drills for his crew paying off. Now Viral is exposed as Papa Dijon, and the rest of Ding are going to collapse on him right now.
Looks like Ding is going to pick up this victory right now. They want it so badly, and they look like they're going to be able to take it as Papa Dijon takes down Viral. That IS-7 now going for Googlybobbers. They are trying to put some cap pressure on down in the southeast on that 2-cap you guys see here. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough, as DNA is just going to split off their forces, sending 2 up here to deal with Sovereign, meanwhile sending the rest back to deal with those objects in the back chat on the cap. Sovereign taking some damage here. Lux trying to make it as fast as he can. Hear the shot there, missing on a Scoopra. 774 goes on the Sovereign. One more, and he's going to be going down. Looks like it's going to be Scroopa going to pick that one up. And now a 2v1 against Luck. Meanwhile, the Loxa takes some damage here, going up against Dr. Halo in that bat chat. 529 points. They are putting that pressure on, but with the recess going on to Ramsar, Darth Vader, it looks like DNA should be able to pick this one up. They still have all 7 members, ladies and gentlemen, up on their team against the just now 4 of Googly, and now 3 as Scooper takes out Luck. Flashlight taken down. Dr. Halo, Zombie Food, and 7 Tesla are the only remaining members of Googlybobbers, and DNA is going to pick up a victory here, 5-1 against Googlybobbers, ending for Ivanka. Zombie Food now being chased down. Fantastic victory indeed. The Lock said Scooper just going to make sure that 7 Tesla can't escape, but there is no escaping. She has turned around. She has met her fate face on. That's DNA with their 5th and final victory here, ending out the 3rd match of the night. I mean, really a fantastic job for them so far. It seems as if either their changes as far as roster are working out fantastic for them, their new callers working out beautifully, and DNA, it looks like they are on point right now.
So far, so good.
All right, well, that is our 3rd matchup all done, all finished. One more match to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Simple Tankers versus Eclipse. Stats?
We can go to stats really quickly.
Let's check out stats.
Papa Dijon, 3.4K.
Done.
Yeah, we're done. That's all I wanted to do, is
out.
highlight my ever-growing affection for Papa Dijon and his glorious name. But that is a 7-0. That's really what I was coming here for. And the fact that everybody broke 1,000, including Romstar, who survived. He was what I was talking about.
Yes.
He was the forward spotter for that position. He got his pick, he ran, and he lived, hitting 5 out of 6 of his shots in the process. And there you go. That's it.
Yeah, I
There are
get
the stats.
Thank you for that, because I totally forgot Romstar at the
All of
beginning, picking up the RU-251 and surviving the entire match, not just for a few seconds, the entire time. Ladies and gentlemen, our 3rd match is done. Our 4th and final